Directionally challenged hiker here this Sunday, November 27th. And I'm doing things a little bit differently today. I want to talk about what's happening with my knee and didn't figure you wanted to just watch me talk, so I am incorporating a slideshow from my first trip to the Grand Canyon. So, my first trip to the Grand Canyon was in August of 2013. I lived in Arizona since the end of 2005, so it took almost 8 years to get to the Grand Canyon. My husband had come home from work and asked if I wanted to go, and I was like, sure. So I got online and I figured out how to um, book some nights at Mather Campground. And amazingly, there were 3 nights in a row, like 2 weeks out from his having asked. So I got those nights. Yep, middle of August 2013. That was going to be my first Grand Canyon experience. First day, we just kind of did a little bit of the rim experience because we had driven up there. And the next morning, we got up fairly early. Probably not early for you serious Grand Canyon backpackers, as I have learned, but we got up and we were going to do a little bit of hiking, and we wanted to avoid the crowds, so we headed on down to the Grandview Trailhead. I know, newbies hiking in August on the Grandview. Yes, definitely newbies. But I had my snacks, I had my day pack, and I headed on down the Grandview Trail. And I actually made Horseshoe Mesa. It was amazing. I mean, the views, the experience. It was really cool to see the ruins of the Last Chance Mine stuff, the cook shack. Um, I did get a total kick out of that toilet sign because it looked like it was a sign pointing to the middle of nowhere. And now that I've been back a few times, I realized that it was actually pointing the direction of the toilets. And if you've never been to Grandview, they're very special toilets. But yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Um, I headed back up and I had a Gatorade and a payday in my day pack, and oh my gosh, I ate them about halfway back up, maybe not quite halfway back up. It was a little warm, and maybe as you'll see from some of the pictures, there was a storm coming in. So I met up with my husband. He didn't go all the way down to the mesa. Met up with him on those lovely little cobblestone areas. And then we started heading back up, and the storm rolled in, so we kind of chilled for a while. And it was beautiful. It was amazing, and it dropped the temperature for the rest of the hike out. So yeah, that was my first Grand Canyon was a day hike down to Horseshoe Mesa in August. And then that evening, we wanted to experience the sunset. You'll see some photos later on in this slideshow. We headed back to Grandview Point, just a short ways down the trail to avoid, again, the crowd. And we took pictures for an hour or so and enjoyed the sunset. So yeah, that was my first full day at the Grand Canyon. It was awesome. But onto the knee. The knee is not so awesome. Um, I had my first physical therapy appointment on Friday, yeah, day after Thanksgiving, and the physical therapist painted a pretty dark picture. Yeah, kind of depressing, but oh well. Um, I guess they watch you move, and I had gone in hoping that there was some deviation in my movement, something lacking, something tight, something that physical therapy could help fix. I mean, I know there's some things in my knee that don't just get fixed like that, but if there's a tightness in your hip, maybe you can work on that, and then your knee will align a little better and won't irritate some of the other things as much. But was like, no, you move pretty normal. Then he did the standard, kind of the strength testing of my leg, my knee, push against, pull, kind of some adduction and abduction, and the strength is good. It's not lacking at all. Again, that's not the greatest thing because yeah, it's strong. At this point, the MCL is pretty much a non-issue that should have been healed several weeks ago, and that's really not the issue. I do have the two meniscal tears. The medial meniscus tear is a small flat tear, and then I have a small tear, I think in the horn area of my lateral meniscus. They do not seem to be causing any grief. I'm not having any locking or clicking symptoms that other people can have when they have meniscal issues. My problem is, and I'm going to butcher the fancy term for it, chondromalacia of the patella. So basically, I have grade 3 arthritis of my kneecap, and there's not a whole lot that can be done for that. It is basically deemed degenerative, meaning I'm old. Thinking back, I probably did it some harm in high school, lifting weights, not knowing exactly what I was doing. But it is what it is. It's there. It's not going away. I have to figure out how to live with it. Again, he painted a pretty dark picture. Like running is not in my future, and he looked at me kind of horrified when I mentioned backpacking. So yeah, that that was kind of a depressing day. He's not too sure that physical therapy is going to be much benefit to me. I will probably go to the next couple sessions, as I have like the next 2 sessions are different therapists, just maybe see if someone has a little bit differing of opinion, maybe some different advice. But I guess it is what it is. I have arthritis of my knee. It's pretty bad, and I'm going to have to deal with it. So I will be continuing to do what I've been doing, biking, some walking. I have really been focused on upper body strength training, and then like up, that would be with weights. Yeah, I like my weights. Lower body, I've been doing some exercises that I've watched several different YouTube physical therapists, doctors, things like that they put stuff out there. And I mean, I did look. I didn't just pick random exercises. I looked at if several doctors were recommending the same exercise. I felt that was probably pretty safe to do, and it wasn't anything insane. A lot of it was just leg lifts. Again, some of that crazy aerobic type stuff that, late 80s, early 90s, that I kind of want to laugh at now. And I'm like, you know what? They had something there. So I've been doing that. Um, I I do need to find out what it can do. I am not going to go crazy with weights on it at this point, but I'm hoping to get a walk in after I'm done messing with this video this afternoon. I'm going to be trying, I had picked up one of those patella straps. I'm just going to see if it feels any differently. I mean, if it makes a difference, then why not? I don't think it can hurt anything. Um, Again, I've been trying to go slow, but I think it's about time to see if it can handle what I want to do. On Thursday, December 1st, I will be heading to CG Mountain with my friend and just doing, our local training hike. It is not the Grand Canyon, but it's a start. So I guess I will find out a little bit more after doing that. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of a wait and see, trial and error at this point. It needs to not swell. I can handle a little bit of pain, but if it swells and I lose range of motion, I can't hike because you kind of need your leg to bend the way it's supposed to bend if you're on the trail. So, yeah. Any suggestions, any advice, I'm not going to do anything crazy, but, any of this worked for me. Leave it in the comments, message me. I am open to, try to figure it out. So that is about it on the knee. Again, a little bit depressing, but I'll figure it out. We're right in the middle of the sunset here. Yeah, this trip was a lot of fun. Yeah, it started that Grand Canyon addiction. I had to get back. I did make it back the next summer again in August. If you enjoyed this slideshow, again, leave me a comment and I can maybe do the same thing with some more updates with my next Grand Canyon trip of just photos. I didn't have what I have now back then. I just had my camera. Now we're on to some animals that I saw. I caught some awesome birds on this trip. After day hiking, the next day my husband and I got up and we had brought our bikes with us, as you might have seen in one of the pictures. And we biked from Mather Campground to Hermit's Rest and back. And I'll be honest, biking up to Hermit's Rest, that's a workout. Yeah, it's an awesome place to go. I cannot wait to get back. Hopefully, I will be spending time below the rim and not just on top of the rim, but time will tell. So until next time, directionally challenged hiker.